Hey everyone, Mina, Konnichiwa. I trust you're all keeping well. And for today, let's talk about Black Lagoon. Let's go. So, Black Lagoon is an adaptation of the manga, which was written originally by Rei Hiroe. The anime was actually directed by Sonoel Katabuchi, and it was produced by Madhouse, that are known for writing anime such as Ninja Scroll, Perfect Blue, Death Note, and for one of the more recent animation, One Punch Man. So you know it's fire from just that selection alone if you haven't seen it already. The show has 2 seasons and an OVA. So season 1 was released in Japan between April to June 2006. Season 2 was October to December 2006, and the OVA was released between July 2010 to June 2011. And in the Western world, we got the anime in October 2007 to January 2008. Season 2 followed Jan 08 to April 08. And then the OVA was released in August 2013. So we had the whole thing released straight away. So there are 4 main characters in the show, and I'll start off by introducing the first one, that is known as Rock. Otherwise, his original name is Rokuro Okujima. He is originally a Japanese salaryman or a businessman, and he is then abducted essentially by the group known as Black Lagoon, and he is then just held for ransom. The company that he works with kind of strikes him off as dead, as they think it's easier to just not try and save him, as he was a new employee. But he later becomes basically the negotiator of the Black Lagoon company, and he lives happily ever after, kind of. Then there is Revi, otherwise known as Rebecca Lee or Two Hands throughout the anime, and she is the muscle of the group, and she went through some childhood abuse, hence why she is the badass she is today. And you do see a lot about her backstory through the series, so I'm not going to say anything about that. Then there is Dutch. Dutch is the brains of the team and the leader. He is a former Marine from the Vietnam War that escaped to Thailand. Anyway, that's what we are told. But you will, again, find a little bit more about that as you watch, as it's all very interesting and it intertwines with each other. And then fourth, we have Benny, or Benny Boy, as you hear him called quite a lot in the show, who is the Lagoon's mechanic, engineer, researcher. He's a college dropout from Florida who happens to get himself in trouble with the FBI and the mafia, and Revi, the muscle, manages to save him and he joins the crew, and that is it. Rock is actually the last person to join the crew. Then it goes Benny, then Revi, then Dutch. So that is the order. But getting to tell you a little bit now about the show and what it's about. So, as I said, the show is broken down into 2 parts, season 1, season 2, and season 1 primarily focuses on the jobs that the Lagoon Company do to make money, and they are action-packed. In addition to that, you get to see a lot of the major players that are introduced throughout the series and who the Lagoon Company are connected to. And about the scenes, in regards, as I mentioned, them being action-packed, you see that the Lagoon Company are put into situations that you want to see them get out of. And they are put into a number of scenarios that you kind of calculated, how are they going to do this? And yeah, it's really exciting just to see how to get out certain situations. It has you basically rooting for the bad guys, which in this case is not a bad thing, because the bad guys are just doing what they got to do to survive. And it's what keeps the show amazing. So season 2 is a little different to season 1. The dynamic of it is completely... No, it's completely different. Yeah, I'm going to say it's completely different. They focus... There is some action, don't get me wrong, but they focus more on the plot, and the main characters get forgotten a little bit. So basically the Lagoon Company almost take a back seat in order for the plot to kind of unravel. Essentially, it focuses less on Revy and Rock and their relationship and just how they develop as characters throughout the series, and generally just focuses on the plot of the story, which was, I guess, the action between the two characters just mentioned, Revy and Rock, is what really made season 1 exciting, where it revolved around the Lagoon Company, what they're doing, etc., to survive. But that kind of just gets left behind in season 2. But it's not to say that it's not worth watching, because you get to learn a lot about other characters and to see how just, again, things unfold throughout the rest of the story. So do watch it. Don't put it off just because I'm saying that it's just not as action-packed as season 1. Now, for the last bit is Japanese versus English. Most people that know me know I absolutely hate listening to dub. But there are some special cases, and Black Lagoon happens to be one of them. In my personal opinion, just the American voice actors done so well with reciprocating the language and just the dialogue itself. And I guess as a English speaker myself, I resonated with it a lot better. But as I mentioned, the voice actors did such a great job that their speech really does resonate with the characters. So I would definitely watch it in English over Japanese sub. So yeah, like, not to say that I don't like the Japanese sub, I just prefer the English, as due to the language that is used. It just, as I said, it resonated with me, and I guess with a lot more of the Western viewers that have watched the series as well. And I'm pretty sure some Japanese viewers would say the same thing, but you know, watching English is what I would say. But that is it for today, guys. I hope you do go through and watch it. It's, as I mentioned, it's not too long of a series. It's on Netflix as well if you want to go and watch that. So I guess go and check it out. But we'll be back next week with another installment. Not quite sure which anime to talk about. So if you do have any suggestions, let me know down in the comments. And yeah, enjoy Black Lagoon.